And they replied, no, only the pilots from World Headquarters are allowed to guarantee a uniform experience. And that made me rather furious. And so I wrote kind of a long email or a
A
very
rant.
short dissertation on why I need to do it and why it's valuable to start modernizing our systems. And
And
then they took about a month, but then they gave me authorization to run a pilot program on this.
Hi, my name's Brendan O'Sullivan, a Toastmaster from Brisbane, Australia. Welcome to my Toastmasters World Tour podcast. Please join me as I travel virtually around the world and chat to Toastmasters from different countries and all walks of life. Let's explore. For this episode of Toastmasters World Tour, we travel virtually to Munich, Germany, famous for its Oktoberfest beer festival, its Glockenspiel clock tower, and the Bayern Munich Football Club, to chat to Óscar Nájera. With 8 years' experience working as a software developer in Germany, Óscar has applied these skills to develop an app to help with Toastmasters contests. Let's hear all about it. Guten Tag, Óscar. Welcome to the show. Wie geht's?
Guten Tag, Brennan. Doing fine. Thank you for your invitation.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, well, I was born in Ecuador and I studied physics. So I moved abroad to France to do my PhD there in solid state physics. And now I currently have been living in Germany for the last 8 years as a software developer.
And you're a Toastmaster?
Yes, I joined Toastmasters about 7 years ago, almost matching my move to Germany.
What prompted you to join Toastmasters?
On my first meeting, there was a woman making a very unusual project. She was holding a theatrical monologue. And I found that fascinating on top of the usual items of an agenda. And I thought, okay, this is interesting and valuable for my life, and I need to do it. And that's when I joined.
So you were just walking down the Strasse and then happened to wander into a room and there was Toastmasters. You had no plan or reason to turn up into that room in the first place.
No, I'm not that kind of person. I first checked on Meetup
Uh-huh.
about events in my surrounding, and then I found this public speaking club, and I said, okay, I'll have a look. And then I was surprised what happens in those meetings.
So I would say it's sounding to me like you're possibly my first guest that didn't have a really strong reason to join other than it sounds like a spirit of adventure, almost a spirit of checking something out.
Yes, I am a curious person by nature.
I love that.
I also didn't think I was a bad public speaker.
Okay.
Because from my academic work, I was used to hold presentations.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly is presenting a poster when you are a young researcher. You go to a conference, and the only thing you get is a slot where you put your work in a poster, and then people come to you and you try to discuss. And it's a short conversation or a long conversation, whatever, but it's a small group of people. So in that eases you into speaking about your work and what you do to others, having to explain things on the spot, dealing with questions. And well, of course, there's always the oral defense of your work.
And what made you want to keep going?
It's more the social feature that I get from Toastmasters. It's the feedback that it's a supporting environment where people are really wanting to see you get better. You develop a lot of self-confidence, which was unexpected for me, but I owe that to Toastmasters a lot. Just daring to do more things or daring to speak up your mind because you are at least sure you will be able to give a consistent and clear message out of what you say instead of babbling around all the time.
Yeah. Wonderful. Did you know many people in Germany, have many friends in Germany before you went there?
No, and I still don't have many friends here. It has
So,
been a hard place to make friends.
so it's a ready-made social network, and at the same time, you're getting a lot of personal growth out of it.
Exactly.
Do you think you would have joined if you'd stayed in Ecuador?
I don't know. I don't even know if there are clubs over there.
There is. I've got a friend in Ecuador,
Okay.
Bernardo. Yes, he's got the Ecuadorian club. How did you get into the software development?
I always liked computers. My PhD work is in theoretical physics, and what I did is develop simulations. So I'm very used to programming computers for doing computation. Being curious by nature and someone that just looks for solutions is a very important skill, I would say.
Yeah.
And it is what has served me well in dealing with any problem I face.
Okay. Now, I believe you've developed an app for ballot counting in Toastmasters contests. Let me just take you back a step before we talk about the app. I've judged at Toastmasters contests, but I've never been part of the ballot counting. Have you been part of the ballot counting at a Toastmasters contest?
Yes, many years ago I helped in probably it was a division contest as ballot counter.
And what's involved in that exactly?
Well, you get a lot of paper slips and you have to figure out what the judge wrote.
Huh?
Because the ballot gives you a ranking. The judge thinks, well, first place, second place, third place.
Yeah.
And you have to transfer that to a tally sheet where you
Uh-huh.
organize all the placings and then you add all the positions and then you get a final score, which lets you pick the winners of the contest.
Okay. And how many judges are there usually?
Well, it depends on the size or level of the contest, but it's between five or at least five judges in club and area level, and then you keep adding judges. I think you can get up to 7 or 9 easily, depending on the level.
Okay. And so let's say you had 9, and then they each have first, second, and third in their rankings. So then you've got 27 different places to tally.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first get the idea of thinking that an app would be useful for this process?
Well, most of the time I have been a contestant,
Mm-hmm.
and currently in my area, for financial reasons, for resources, we organize our area contest together with another area nearby so that we can book a venue together and we share our network to find volunteers to help us organize the event and be part of the judging team.
Okay.
And the thing is, every year Toastmasters has been growing. We have more people, and that has made the contest longer.
Right.
And last year, our area contest was just dreadfully long. It was annoying to be the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I was, or I'm still am, the area contest area director. And part of my responsibilities is to organize the area contest.
Okay.
And I was facing this challenge that here in Germany, we have 6 contests. We make the international speech, the evaluation speech, and the table topics speech contest
Uh-huh.
in English. So that's 3. And then we do that again in German. That makes 6
Yes.
contests.
Yeah.
And because we're doing with another area, we are having 12 contests within a day.
Right.
And that's what makes the event so long.
Yeah.
And also you have to account for participants. So I would say, well, we will have at least 12 contestants and a maximum of 66 contestants, given the amount of clubs we have in two areas combined. And I said, okay, assuming we have more members than last year's, we might have also more contestants. Last year's was too long. I need to figure a way out to make this thing a bit faster. And that's what I say, okay, I honestly can only optimize on the app or something that helps on the accounting, because you cannot really shorten the speaking time. You can give the contest chair the instruction, well, try to keep it short, don't overextend too much.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So how long do you think that ballot counting normally takes in that scenario?
The first contest that gets ballot counted, it's mostly done in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Plus, well, moving to the counting room and returning.
Yep.
The main issue is that with every subsequent contest, your counting team gets tired.
Right.
And that is what's causing delays. That is what makes them uncertain. Oh, did I copied everything correctly? And then you have the other person, which is already warned, it might be wrong. So they are putting more attention.
Right.
And you realize by the end contest, the last contest you're accounting, the whole process took you 18 minutes.
18.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I see that it's starting to see the value. So how does the app work exactly?
The initial idea was it gives you the judging form as a set of sliders. So it works on your phone. You just slide the score. It adds for you, and it adds the contestant ranking, and it submits. And that is for the judge. On the other side, for the chief judge, he has some live monitoring, so he can track which judge has submitted, when has a ballot arrived to him. And when all ballots have arrived, he just gets the result. That's the initial magic.
That sounds fabulous. I must say, I was don't take any offense, but I was slightly skeptical when I heard it was just ballot counting. I thought, how long does that take? But now that you've explained it, I totally see the value of that. And I love that. I love, having it on your phone. What is the name of the app, Oscar?
It's like Toastmaster contest ballot. I mean, it's not yet marketed. I introduced it as a pilot project to get some digital use within our contests.
So you did it within your own contests. How did that go?
So within my contest, I was very happy because our contest worked really like clockwork. We were on time, and as far as my experience go, we are the first contest I ever experienced that is on time.
Okay.
It was fast. It worked. It had some hiccups still by the time I used it on my contest. But it did save us a lot of time, and it really felt like a professional event where everything worked within the schedule.
So it's not available to Toastmasters elsewhere at this point in time?
Oh, no, there's a whole bureaucracy behind. I mean, I had to ask permission from World Headquarters to even try doing this.
Really? What was that process like?
Well, it was rather simple. I first wrote first I didn't think I even needed permission.
Sure.
And I introduced during the club officer training to all my club officers that for the area contest, I am thinking of making the judging digital. And then I had some paper lovers that say, oh no, digital, we don't know where it could break. So because you're not bringing a certified software, we wouldn't like to embrace your idea.
Uh-huh.
And then someone told me, well, and then I refuted, well, but I'm running the contest, I'm running the responsibility, and I'm not essentially breaking any rules from the rule book.
Uh-huh.
And then someone more experienced told me, well, yeah, not because you're not breaking the rules, doesn't mean it is endorsed by Toastmasters International,
Uh-huh.
which was the compromising way of avoiding a fight. And so I went to the rule book. There is an email there. It's called speech contest at toastmasters.org. And I asked, look, I have this idea. Is it fine because I'm not breaking any rule? And they replied almost within a day, is like, no, only the ballots from World Headquarters are allowed to guarantee a uniform experience.
Mhm.
And that made me rather furious. And so I wrote kind of a long email or a
A
very
rant.
short dissertation on why I need to do it and why it's valuable to start modernizing our systems. And
Yeah.
then they took about a month, but then they gave me authorization to run a pilot program on this.
How long ago was that you ran the pilot program?
It went on over the months of February and March.
Okay.
On February, I was joining few club contests and running the software in parallel. So I would go to a club contest and say, look, you already have the way of paper. Can I ask the judges some extra work to do it digitally? Then I joined the ballot counting team for the club contest and we compared the results and monitor how did the app develop. And it was always papers records are still first and the app just gets validated. And in March was my area contest, and then it was flipped. We are digital first, that's the system of records, and if anything fails, we back up to paper.
Yeah, and that
So,
sounds like you've got a plan B. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And so have you been happy how it went in both situations?
Yes. I mean, that's why you run a pilot. When I started doing
Yeah.
in the club contest, you start discovering, oh, there are some usability things that I didn't foresee that could go wrong, and they did go wrong. I mean, its first try on a live contest, it actually failed. It didn't work as I
Okay.
intended.
Uh-huh.
But that is how a process of developing software works. You
Yes.
face unknowns, and
Yes.
it is what it is. It was fixed by my area contest. By my area contest, I had the
Huh?
certainty that it would work and it could be the main system of records, and it did.
From an IT point of view, from a technical point of view, is it ready to go now, or does it need further modification?
It is ready to go when I do it because I developed it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have a complete administrator interface. So I do the writes directly to the database. I set the event directly on the database. And I was planning after my area contest to give it to some volunteering division directors for their division contest in my district. But then I ran in some more bureaucracy, and some people said, no, my authorization was only for my area contest and before, and not for higher levels. And then Toastmasters didn't confirm if they did allow me to use it at district level. So it is untested on what it goes for opening it up to other people, seeing how the administrator interface works, how someone that is not the developer of the app manages running the contest.
Okay,
That part is still to be tested.
I see. And so where to from here, Oscar?
Well, right now is still ask again permission for next year for the next contest cycle. Now explicitly stating where can it be tested, and hopefully it's available in like one more year in the rule book for everybody.
You're still trying to fight the bureaucracy and get it
Oh
approved.
yeah, it's a slow moving organization. It's You have to meet the deadlines. You have to convince people. Most of the problems are always among people, not technical. Technical is easy to solve.
So you're having a fair bit of resistance from the powers that be. Do you have much support from the ground, from the people in the clubs?
Main support is from some area directors. I mean, the people that really feel the value are the contest organizer and above all the chief judge.
Mm-hmm.
Although the most praised feature, and just because there are more judges involved than a single chief judge, so it's just amount of people, is judges actually praise the fact that they have the names of the speaker on their phone. And I thought that was evident, but it is not. Most of the cases in most contests, all the speakers are on a flip chart in front, and judges have a hard time reading the name or catching it up. And yeah, they were all just like, "Oh, I have all the names on the phone." That was for them the biggest use. That we dynamically just deliver them all the speech agenda, all the speakers in their order with their name correctly written. And then the judging was, for many of them, not an issue to do it digitally. I learned along the way to offer many ways of inputting the judge's ballot. So I have actually 3 views. One with the sliders, that was my original idea. I have a complete copy of the ballot, which is this table, and then just also a manual input where they just put the ranking. If they judge on paper because they find paper bigger and more room than doing on their phone, and then just transfer the final ranking.
How many hours have you put into developing this app?
I don't know, January, February, March, on weekends.
You're meeting a fair bit of resistance. How motivated are you to keep fighting for it and to see it succeed and be implemented?
I am very motivated. I think I already did the main work, which is not really the developing, is the testing. Is the testing on the ground, how does it work? And I think once it's done, it should be for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And how would you roll that out? Let's say you got all the approvals that you were seeking. How would that roll out? Would it just be available on like the Apple App Store and Google Play, or is there another way of rolling it out?
Well, first, it's not an app you install. It's actually a web page. So it's a link you open.
Okay.
You give every judge a very specific authentication link that authenticates them as a judge in front of the app. And well, there are hosting costs, so I don't believe in or don't have the need of making any money out of it, but I will be giving some support and helping people and making things more clear. So I would say it's just the event organizer would pay a small fee to have an event set up, and then they get the support and they organize their event and it works for them. There is no need to install. It's really a web page you open.
And what about cybersecurity? I imagine if like I'm competing in a contest, it'd be great if I could sort of hack in and change all the judges' score to make me number one. Is that going to be hard or easy for me to do?
Well, it's all standard practices. Securing a web app is not black art. Of course, if you're a very skilled hacker, you will eventually get into the server and change things.
Might be my best shot of winning a contest.
I don't think so. The app already authenticates judges cryptographically. You have provenance of where each vote came.
Okay.
And you're actually opening up to something I also want to work on next year. And it's bringing some transparency to the judging. Like currently, judges are anonymous. All is hidden. Only the chief judge has the ballots at the end, and he and the ballot counters have seen it, and then everybody gets the result. And My idea is do it like we do it in every fair competition. Like you see the Olympics, like the judges show to the entire public is like, this is the score.
Mhm.
So once you make it public, I mean, you can say, well, yeah, the server was hacked, but we still have a transparent record of what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is my second fight, and that's why I still remain engaged. Once we do it digitally, it's also easier to share with everybody the public record of, well, these are the results. This is how we started, how they are computed, and you can check for yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
To be the devil's advocate, you have someone who's not happy that they didn't win the contest. They're going to then start following the judge out into the car park to debate the issue.
oh yes, of course. I mean, that is a common problem also in other places. Um, and the way you track this down is first the judges might not be anonymous, but they are kind of protected, and contestants cannot get close to judges at least until the final score is
Mm,
announced and there are no more changes.
mm,
But I do see value going to the
yeah,
judge after the contest and asking, so why did you judge me like this? This is also something I want to fight for, because if Toastmaster is a place where you develop yourself and
yeah.
feedback is one of our main core values, the day you are performing in a contest, you get zero feedback.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
No one can tell you anything there
Yes,
that day.
I hear you. Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
yeah, going to the judge afterwards saying like, why did you pick like that? And
Yeah,
then you can get some feedback. It's like, it's open. It's like a judge can tell you, you didn't win. And I compared you against this other person and they did this thing better than you. Like now you
yeah,
have a point to work on for next year.
yes, yeah.
There will always be like violent people. I hope we
If
don't have to engage on those problems. Um,
have to
but
beef up security because someone didn't win the humorous contest or something. That's right. Do you think you're going to have much support for that? Because I imagine that's going to be a bit divisive. There's going to be some very traditional people that definitely would want to remain anonymous judges. And some people would think that's a fabulous idea because, yeah, they get to learn as a contestant, they get to learn how can they improve from that.
well, I think everybody is against change. We
Yes.
all like the way things are because we're used to them, not because they are good.
Yes. Yeah.
And I already experienced pushback just with a very technical solution. And I still have to face the pushback of getting it approved into the rule book,
Yeah.
not as a mandatory thing, but as an option. I mean, I am all for alternatives and competition. I also wrote my report on this application as mostly requesting as a certification. Look, these are the problems I faced. If someone has a better idea, I'm happy they have an alternative product, and we should at least be sure we cover this problems I already faced. That's it. I think if I'm going to change how the judging is performed in the sense of, well, the judge is public, their votes are public, there will be some pushback. I think it is a better way. We'll see.
Look, I think that's great. I imagine some people will say, look, it's really hard organizing an area contest or a division contest. It's hard enough to get, find enough people to fill the various roles, such as judging roles. And if some people are a bit timid and worried about being questioned about their judgment, is that going to put some people off and make it harder to find judges? So, in my view, I can imagine from the contestant's point of view, that would be a fabulous thing to get more feedback. From an organizer's point of view, is it going to cause that problem or is it not? I don't know. I think that's sort of debatable. Personally, I think it's a fabulous idea. Both your ideas, and if you can get feedback, fabulous. We're all there to grow. I would support it personally.
Thank you. When you say, is it going to be hard to reach people? I don't know. I was, as area director, really surprised how hard it is to get a volunteer. I mean, you think you know everybody, and like the first hurdle is just getting people to read their emails. That's
Yes.
kind of hard.
Yeah, that's right.
And then engage with you back. Yeah, I won't be able, or this person in my club might be interested, because you cannot really contact everybody because data protection regulations. So you have to go first the president and the VP education, and then they have to transfer your message to the club, and it takes time. What I can tell you is, because the judges are anonymous, their work goes unrecognized, or more than, well, it goes recognized, but they are not personally thanked. At the end of a contest, you call all the volunteers on stage except the judges. You don't thank judges publicly because they were anonymous. And I think for some people, being thanked for their job might be more motivation than the shy part that would say, I don't like to be known as judge. But you have to test it. I mean, you have to make a contest where you say, well, the judges are public and their vote is public, and see if that makes it harder to find volunteers or not.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think there's going to be some people that are going to love this and some people are going to be resistant. And I think it's great that you've put this out there, though. And I personally love it. Oscar, we're going to have people listening in that are thinking, I love this. I think Oscar, what a champion. He's doing a great job doing that. Some people embrace change because that's how we improve. That's how the world moves forward. Is there anything that people listening in that might think along those lines? This is great. Is there anything that we can do a bit of a call to action that they can do to support you in trying to get this approved?
I would imagine it's writing to speechcontest@toastmasters.org, requesting support for the initiative. I will share with you my report. I mean, it is currently public knowledge. So people interested can find it. And yeah, if you're interested, help me run more pilots and have more testing places, because I can only test with volunteers that are also willing to take the extra risk in uncertainty that, things might go wrong still, running the system in parallel still with paper. But the more people that embrace change and want to give it a try, the more tested and reliable it becomes for everybody else in the future.
So if they want to write to support, what are they going to call the project?
Oh, right now, how did I call that? I think it's Ballot for Toastmaster contest. What's the title I give in the report?
Before we use the same terminology, that would help. Yeah.
Ballot system for speech contests.
Okay.
That's how I called it. Very, very descriptive name.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. That sounds amazing what you're developing there. Good on you for trying to improve the Toastmasters experience. Thank you so much, Oscar. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you for your time and giving me the spotlight.
Yes, okay.
And hope this gets forward.
Thanks for listening to today's show. One of the key elements of Toastmasters is evaluations. This is how we grow and improve, both by encouraging comments for things we got right and points for improvement. We all learn and benefit from these evaluations, not just the person being evaluated. So any feedback in the comments is greatly appreciated. If you have a Toastmasters story you'd like to share or would like to be on the show, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at toastmastersworldtour@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.